morning everybody, my name is Andrew Barty King. I am standing in the inner west of Sydney. I spent 10 years living in China from 2008 to 2018 and had many wonderful experiences and wanted to share some experiences with you of Zhongguo Jiangchuan. In 2012 I was in Tai'an and we had just opened a hotel there and we were looking to recruit an assistant banquet manager. This man's name was Liu Dong. At one social event he told me he had been living in a farming community on the edge of Tai'an city. He was born in the mid-80s. In the mid-90s his whole family and indeed the whole farming community was moved from the farm into a brand new apartment building with a factory adjoining that was a metalwork factory. His father went to work in the metalwork factory and the construction of the apartments was arranged so that future generations would also be able to take advantage of the accommodation and life there. Liu Dong, late 20s at the time I met him when he started working at the hotel, and went on to be very successful in his career. He rose up through the ranks, he became banquet manager and then subsequently moved around different company hotels in other parts of Shandong. You know, you look at his story, how he was in a farming family on the land and they were moved out into a more urban environment with work provided for his parents, how that enabled him to really grow his life and become a successful and productive member of the local community and the business community, and now has a wonderful life. The Communist Youth League of China in the 80s founded the Hope Foundation, which was set up around China to promote the establishment of primary schools. And one such school was established at Langkao. On the Friday morning, on the 19th of December in 2014, we drove out from the hotel to Langkao. The journey of over 200 kilometers and took us about 2.5 hours. When we arrived there, we were met by the teacher, the headmaster and the teaching team, and they took us on a tour of the school. After that, we were treated to a performance of entertainment by the children. It was very cold that day. This was winter. They were wearing padded jackets and all their cheeks were rosy from the cold weather. And we had a meeting then with the headmaster to establish what he wanted us to do to help the school. One was heating. We noticed as we did the tour that the classrooms didn't contain any heaters and it was very cold, as I mentioned. Also, we did visit 2 classrooms that were particularly poor condition. The walls were peeling inside and were quite dirty and were in great need of renovation. So indeed, we returned to the hotel, some heaters were dispatched the following week. We then arranged to return and we took tubs of paint and undercoats and scraping equipment and we set to work. A team of us, about 8 of us, and it was wonderful. It was great. We could see the smiling faces in front of us, young children so full of hope. We were glad to be part of that process. What was also of great encouragement to all of us was that we did see in 2017 that the whole of Langkao had been removed from the impoverished list. It had risen up from its previous condition and was now a sustainable community in economic terms. School now has developed and evolved significantly from the time when we were there and is now a vibrant school, a vibrant community. I felt very privileged to be actively engaged to help the children in this school and in all the projects that I was involved with, to be part of their change in their whole lifestyle and environment. And here we are now, several years later, where poverty and of the extreme sort that we saw there is almost being completely eliminated now, which is such a wonderful, wonderful thing. Of course, all these projects were actually initiated with the foresight and necessity of the Chinese government, who has had a goal, obviously, to elevate the rural communities and get everybody engaged in a modern society and sustainable lifestyle. And it is due to their efforts and promoting these endeavours that we were able to take the steps that we did in our very small way to help in this process. To have seen that and engaged with it is something I shall cherish and remember always. 我希望中国的乡村越来越好。